Well, good afternoon. My name is Tom. I come to you from the great state of Maine. Welcome to my outpost. This is Beaver Creek. We built Beaver Creek and we started it in 2021, I believe it was. I know it was, come to think of it. This is going to be part of that series I've decided to start working on. So you want to own a cabin. I can tell from my videos that there's a lot of people that would like to own a cabin. So I got thinking about that and we'll try it out. If you guys will subscribe to these videos, that's the only way that I know that you're liking it. I can tell from each video how many subscribers that I pick up. So if you're new to the channel and you like this kind of stuff and the thumb tag kind of got your attention, subscribe to the channel and I will continue down this series of So You Want to Own a Cabin. And when it shows that you guys aren't showing any interest in it, then we'll move on to something else. But anyways, I built this cabin in 2021. And if you want to follow the whole series on you know, there's some pretty good carpentry stuff in there on how I built it and all of that. Today I want to talk about the cost. I want to talk about keeping the cost down on your building and all of that. I've got in this cabin right now 15 acres of land. This cabin, I have less than $2,000 in this whole project. I'm not going to go into it all here in an 8-minute video how I accomplished that. But if you want to go back into, like I said, go back into my playlist, go to my home page, hit playlist, scroll down through, and you'll find Building of Beaver Creek. There's 30 plus videos in there, maybe even 50 videos in there about how I accomplished getting this cabin built, land and all, and having less than $2,000 tied up in the whole project. So if that doesn't catch your attention, I don't think nothing will. So let's get on to cost. How in the heck did I keep the cost down to under $2,000 for this piece of for the property and the cabin? The whole $2,000 is, well actually I got to back up. It's the original plan was $2,000. That's the cabin and 10 acres of land. Beside of the 10 acres of land was 5 acres of land. And beside that is another 5 acres of land. And beside that is another 10 acres of land. That's 15 acres to the left of me. I would love to own that 15 acres. It's not going to happen. I approached the people that own it. They bought it for back taxes. And he bought one piece for his son, which is probably, at that time, was probably about 13 years old. And then he bought the other piece. He put in his daughter's name, which was, I've never met the daughter. She could be younger, could be older, but I imagine that they're both somewhere in their teen years. So I doubt very much if they will sell it in the near future anyways. But the 5 acres next to me I was able to purchase, and that cost me $5,000 from the local paper company that owned it. Why they sold it, I don't know. I approached them, I asked them, and they agreed to sell it, and and I bought it. And that's where I actually built the cabin. I wanted to get away from my hunting grounds a little bit. So in total here, if you take in this $5,000 and the $2,000, we're up to $7,000 for 15 acres of land and a cabin. That's a pretty good deal, and I'm a mile back in the woods. My pickup truck is a mile away. So I've got my own hunting grounds in here on 15 acres. I got 150 acres behind me with permission to do anything I want on it. The 15 acres that are beside me, the same deal. He wouldn't sell it, but he told me to use it like it was my own. So I've got, just if you count them pieces of property, about 150 acres here now that's wrapped around this cabin that I can hunt. There's no fishing, so no sense in saying hunt and fish. But if you look for deals like that, and take your time. You know, you don't have to buy the first piece of property that you come across. There are properties up here. You need to locate them outside of real estate companies and stuff like that. And that comes from just getting your boots on the ground. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. And we have what's called a blue Maine Atlas. Grab yourself one of those blue Maine Atlases. I don't have one here to show you, but they're in probably every convenience store that has anything at all to do with fishing or hunting in the state of Maine. They're just everywhere. Walmart has them. I know you can get them online. And that blue atlas will it's maps that break down the entire state of Maine. Get yourself one of those blue atlases, go for a ride, and check out areas. And if you find an area that you like, go to the town office, look at the property maps, and approach people. You know, knock on the door, make a phone call. That's what I did with this 5 acres that this cabin is set. I'm pointing that way because I originally started out over that way with the 10 acres. And contact the people and see if they're interested in selling. And if they say yes, then you start negotiating a cost, you know, a price. Now, when we first started talking with the paper company, they wanted $8,000 for the 5 acres. Well, through some negotiations, I was able to get it for $5,000. So, you know, but if you get a real estate person in there or something that's on the open market, you're apt not to find a good deal. You know, like I said, even if it takes you a couple of years of searching, 2 things are happening while you're searching. While you're searching for property, you're learning the state of Maine. You're learning about towns. It's all kinds of stuff that you're learning. And then with any luck at all, you'll stumble across something or someone that's willing to sell. And at the very least, you might end up with a place to hunt, fish, and trap. You know, maybe they won't sell you the piece of property, but maybe they'll say, hey, you can hunt and fish on it, or hey, you can trap on it. So, you know, if you're a hunter and a trapper, maybe that'll open the door to some of these farmers up here that have got big pieces of land and will let you come in and trap and hunt on it, you know. So, and that's kind of what you're looking for. What I have noticed in the last several years is when land gets bought up from people from away, it's automatically is posted. It doesn't matter if there's a building there or not. It's just automatically got a posted sign up, and they kick you out. So that's by talking to some of the old Mainers and talking to some of the old timers, you might find yourself in a very good spot to be able to hunt and trap on that. And it's that's the very least, and who knows, you might find a good piece of property out of it. So now, you know, we kind of figured out how you got to go about finding a cheap piece of property. Now, where's a good place to start looking? Anything north of Augusta. There's lots of small towns. Augusta is the state capital. There's like around Bangor. Bangor is a big area. I don't know if Bangor is probably our second largest city in the state of Maine. But what's nice about Bangor is that an hour's drive from Bangor is you're in some pretty wide open hunting grounds for the state of Maine, and very good hunting. I mean, there's big deer all the way around Bangor. So, and around, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You know, you get out into the outskirts of these bigger areas as you travel up the turnpike. Some of these smaller towns, you can get yourself a small piece of property, whether it's, you only need 1 acre. Now, if you can get 40 acres, that's even better. If you can get 100, now you've got more than enough. But in reality, all that you need is 1 acre of property to get a cabin on, because then you have access to millions of acres. So basically, it's just having a place to hang your hat, like this right here. I have paper company land all around me, plus the 150 acres of private land. So I mean, I got hunting here for as many years as I want to hunt. And I know you can find the same thing. If you get up into the Bingham area in the state of Maine, Kingfield, these towns are situated where paper company land is right next door. So if you can get into a town like that and purchase a small piece of property, your hunting is done. As far as hunting for a place to hunt, because like I said, these paper company lands are right on your doorstep. Some of them don't allow 4-wheelers, but you don't need a 4-wheeler to go deer hunting. It's nice to have, but it's not a necessity. You get into the Great North Woods, they don't allow 4-wheelers and stuff like that, but it's some of the best hunting in the state of Maine. So I don't know if anything else I can add to this part of it or not, but that right there will take care of, I would say that'll take care of number two of this series. We covered location. I can't remember what the first one was about, but hey, you guys will go back and figure it out. Anyways, I'm running out of time. I probably mumbled enough getting through this thing, but that's just some of the things that I did over the years. So have a cup of coffee with me on your way out, and I will see you next week.